And the President of the United States at the time, Barack Obama, black man, stopped the United States delegation from going to Geneva. And he boasted that he did that to a meeting of Zionists in Washington because Israel might be criticized. He didn't want a U.S. delegation to go there. So these things are very complex issues. And one of the things we have to aim to do is to, and I'm sure that you will be sensitive to that, to try to, through this issue of reparations, get U.S. blacks to come to a real understanding of the situation in which they live, in the situation in which their governments, and there are other ways in which you touched on this matter of the governments wanting, for example, when the president, when Trump says that he wants to slaughter Venezuelans, when he says that he wants to slaughter people in North Korea, we owe a debt to North Korea, to the people of North Korea, to the soldiers of North Korea who fought alongside Cubans in the war against South Africa, apartheid South Africa. They were flying MiGs and so on. They were part of our liberation in Africa. And now the people in the United States, the blacks in the United States, will have the feeling from the information they get from their news sources that the North Koreans are just horrible, terrible people who have no feeling for humanity. And we know more about what they've done for us, for black people, fighting alongside Cubans, for example. And so when we have issues like these issues, and when we can show people, black people in the United States know hardly anything about these things because they're kept in complete ignorance on issues like this from the realities. And they're prepared when you have a very important item that you put out not long ago about making Trump accountable before the United Nations for his flagrant violation of Article 2. When he can do such a thing, he can just say that a country where the United States already killed 20% of the population in Korea, and he's now talking just flagrantly about going in again and killing like the world has never seen. And I'm glad that you tackled that, and you want, and that's one of the great things about what's happening in the Caribbean now, led by you, I must say. This broadening of the consciousness, the linking of what we're interested in, perhaps it seems like things that would affect us only in the Caribbean, but you're showing the links between these issues and issues of world geopolitics. And so I think that in the same way that we're talking about this matter of reparations, it's a way perhaps of getting the ear of blacks in the United States. I think we have to think about them because sentimentally they talk about Obama, for example. Sentimentally they say Obama, and not just in the United States, in Jamaica. I was in Jamaica when Obama visited, and the refrain that's going around, nurtured by the CIA, I'm sure, said that he's black, we're black. and therefore we have to be with him. And so when we decide the people who say that, you point out that the people would really make of themselves arch criminals if we are with someone like Obama, because he's black. The killing of, as you said at the beginning of the lecture, of Gaddafi was like the beginning of a process that has led to what the United States, now there are senators in the United States who are talking about Africa as our enemy. Africa as our enemy. This is where the level at which this matter of the oppression of Africa is so constant in the minds of U.S. leadership that it's led to this situation now where I'm sure if the blacks can be made to think about these things, perhaps through the opening the window of reparations, they could come to really oppose their leaders and understand what the leaders have really been up to, the leaders including Obama.
You know, I think that a big part of the problem is the media, because if the information that our people get on the media is so skewed, it's difficult for them to have any proper understanding of anything. In fact, they tend to believe what they hear and see in the major media sources. Clearly, the only way forward is a process in which we connect with each other, and we unify, and we interact with each other more. Right now, and I think reparations has the potential to do that. It has the potential to bring us together so that we dialogue and commune more with each other. The African Union has something called the Economic, Social, and Cultural Council. That's like the civil society parliament of the African Union. It's supposed to be like the civil society parliament. And I am a member of the General Assembly of this Economic, Social, and Cultural Council. And we are trying hard to really make it a proper functioning body that will bring together not only continental civil society, but civil society from the diaspora as well. And one of the things that I've used my position there to try to push the leadership to get the African Union to come on board with reparations, to be aware of what is happening in the Caribbean, and to make some link to come on board, because I'm convinced that it has to be a worldwide movement, starting with the Pan-African civilization first, and bringing in other allies as well. So if we can build those links from the Caribbean to Africa to the North American diaspora in Canada and the United States, and Sakaya's reminded me that the National African American Reparations Commission will be having a meeting in New Orleans, actually on the 30th of November as well. So everybody's using Barbados' birthday to do things. But that'll be happening on the 30th of November in New Orleans, and one of the guest speakers there is Kwame Nkrumah's daughter, Samia Nkrumah. So these are things that we are actively trying to do to get that unification and that working together. And I think that's the only possibility of us coming to common understanding on these issues, and sharing and creating new structures in which information can penetrate. Right now in Latin America, and it's becoming more evident in the Caribbean, we have Telesur. We have Telesur, the television network of the South, that Venezuela under Chavez established, and that has the ambition to be a kind of, I hate to say it, but a CNN of the South. Not that it will tell lies not that it will give us fake news like CNN, but it has the ambition to have the same global reach, but with a southern, third world perspective. And I just came back from a meeting of the African Union in the Seychelles, and I was telling them about Telesur, some of the officials, and they didn't know what I was talking about. And they were saying, but we have ambitions to do something like that in Africa, to have a network, a African communications network. So I said, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We already have it with Telesur, and you need to be talking to Telesur so that you can establish some kind of relationship. So I'm saying that these are all possibilities. These are things we have to work on. So far, let me just say a little thing about that North Korea, because I've been to North Korea. I visited North Korea. And the United States will have very difficult dealing with those people. Those are serious people. First of all, the national philosophy of North Korea is something called the Juche idea. Juche means self-reliance. North Koreans try to do everything for themselves. North Korea is not interested in the rest of the world, The people are happy in their own country. You turn on the TV, every program is North Korean. You turn on the radio, every program is North Korean. You go into the shops, virtually everything in the shop is made